Kimberly Ballou, a content writer here at UWorld in the College Readiness Department. And today I'm going to explain to you how to stop guessing on SAT and ACT reading questions. Lots of students think they have to guess the right answer on SAT and ACT reading questions. But the whole exam is based around the idea of objective measurements. That means every question on every section is written with an objective right answer and an objective way to get there. In other words, you're never doomed to settle for what sounds right or your interpretation. So how do you know you're right? Well, it's when the question stem, the answer choice you pick, and the passage all match. Let's take a couple of examples. The first one is for a question about the purpose of a passage. A passage is made of paragraphs, so the right answer has to connect to every paragraph. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to show you how I would approach question 11. The main purpose of the passage is to. Now, this is a main purpose question, so I would go back and annotate each paragraph with the main idea of that paragraph or what that paragraph does. So paragraph 1, my annotation would be new transit must reduce driving equals unpopular idea. That's the gist of paragraph 1. For paragraph 2, I would write less traffic congestion means more suburban sprawl. For paragraph 3, I would write reducing congestion without reducing number of cars makes problem worse. And then for P4, I would write inconvenient travel is best for environment. Now, going back and taking a look at my annotations, I see that this idea of new transit reducing driving is unpopular. That's mentioned in paragraph 1. And then it's also mentioned sort of about the inconvenient travel being best for environment. It's also mentioned in paragraph 4. So that's mentioned in the introduction and the conclusion. So I'm going to say that that is a big part of the purpose of the passage, and paragraphs 2 and paragraphs 3 provide supporting details. So let's see which answer choice matches the introduction and the conclusion. A provides support for the claim that efforts to reduce traffic actually increase traffic. Well, paragraph 3 mentions that, but the main purpose will not be found in only one paragraph. So we get rid of that one. Choice B, dispute the widely held belief that building and improving mass transit systems is good for the environment. The passage doesn't say this, so we can immediately eliminate that answer choice. Choice C, discuss the negative environmental consequences of car-focused development and suburban sprawl. Well, paragraphs 2 and 3 discuss those details, but those details aren't in the introduction or the conclusion, so I'd be very careful about selecting that answer. Let's go on and take a look at D. Argue that one way to reduce the negative environmental effects of traffic is to make driving less agreeable. Okay, now that is an idea that we found in both the introduction and the conclusion. So I would say that has a much better chance of being the main purpose of the passage. So the correct answer for this one is going to be choice D. Now the second example is a question that asks, what does the passage say about X? Well, in this case, you find a paragraph about that topic and reread it. The answer won't be assumed from the information. It'll be stated by it. So for example 2, we're going to look at question 7 here. The narrator indicates that he pays Simper. So find the paragraph that discusses where the narrator pays Simper. In this passage, it's paragraph 4. It begins with, "My favorite place in the whole city." If you read down a bit, it says, "The bookseller hardly ever allowed me to pay for the books he placed in my hands. But when he wasn't looking, I'd leave the coins I'd managed to collect on the counter before I left. It was only small change. If I'd had to buy a book with that, I would probably have been able to afford only a booklet of cigarette papers." Okay, so that sounds like the narrator is leaving the money that he can, but it's not what the books are worth. So let's see which answer choice matches that information. A, less than Simper expects him to pay. No, because Simper doesn't expect him to pay for it. Nothing, because Simper won't take, well, he pays, so we know that's not right. The money he makes selling sweets to the other children, that is not mentioned in that section. And choice D says, much less for the books than they are worth. Now, D matches the information that we found in the passage. So for this one, the correct answer is choice D. Well, I hope this has been helpful information. If it has, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Remember, your dream school requires a dream score, so keep studying and prepping with UWorld. Your hard work is going to pay off. See you next time.